This is definitely one of the darkest human experiments in history. We're talking about Unit 731 today, and just so you know what you're getting into, it's often referred to as the Auschwitz of the East. This is not a horror story, this is history, and history has a habit of repeating itself when we stop looking. So let's take a closer look at Unit 731. Reminder, I cover a lot of dark stuff on this page, and this story is particularly disturbing. Severe discretion is advised, but follow along if you want to hear more. Unit 731 was a top-secret research facility that were trying to develop biological and chemical weapons, and they often engaged in lethal human experimentation to do that. It was located in China, but it was run by the Japanese Army during World War II between the years of 1937 and 1945. So despite the fact that they called it a research facility, it was basically a death camp. Unit 731 would be most closely compared to the experiment performed by Dr. Mengele, though. The experiments were unimaginably depraved and reduced people's death to a data point. Like, to test frostbite, they would deliberately freeze limbs off of people and then just smash them off. They deliberately inject people with diseases like various venereal diseases, anthrax, cholera, even the bubonic plague. They'd do this either with injections or forcibly with another prisoner. Vivisections on live, conscious people were commonplace, to the point where they had jars filled with various parts of people all over the camp. Women were forced to get pregnant either by other prisoners in the camp or by the systemic assay perpetrated by the staff inside the compound, and then they were experimented on or dissected alive. Truth is, Unit 731 was a bloodbath. You'd think that Count Orlok was running the place. It was not. It was run by this man and some of the country's elite doctors. They experimented on all kinds of people, men, women, children, even babies. They also built biological weapons, like they poisoned wells, infected foods, and they dropped food over Chinese towns infected with the bubonic plague. Unit 731's death toll is estimated between 200 and 500,000. And in the final moments of World War II, when Japan saw that they were losing the war, all the prisoners were executed, the facility was burned, and the truth was buried. And worse still, there were no war criminals from Unit 731 because the doctors were offered immunity by the US in exchange for their medical data. Unit 731 was nothing but a sadistic scientific indulgence, an enormous miscarriage of justice, and it shows what happens when science loses its soul. No one survived Unit 731, and what I've told you barely scratches the surface, because honestly some of the details are just too disturbing for this video to not get taken down. But it's real and it happened, so I encourage you to do a deeper dive for yourself so that we remember and it never happens again.